Thanks for clicking on this video in the Funhouse. We're going to start you off with some flea market footage. Finally have the chance. I'm off of work on a Sunday here, going back. First time for the year for this all-state arena flea market. Oh, it's a great place. It's always so big. One of the complaints people have is it's too big and it's hard to get parking, and all the flippers are there between 4 and 6 a.m. and so by the time you show up at 7, everything's gone. But really, if you look hard enough, you're always going to find some really cool stuff here, and the prices are pretty good. I mean, people are always willing to come down on their prices a little bit. Now today honestly wasn't a great day at the flea market. I didn't find a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted. Of course, as my collection grows, the things that I want become fewer and fewer. So it's harder for me to find something I really want to actually purchase because I already have so much junk already back at the Funhouse. But it's also always just nice just to look around and see what people brought to the old flea market today. And surprisingly, music and toys are plentiful here, which is really neat because when I was a kid, it was more like tools, hardware stuff. You didn't see a lot of toys, but now tons of toys. And there's always good taco stands, so I mean, what's better than toy hunting, music hunting, and tacos? That's a perfect day.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back to the Funhouse and see what I got. Hey, thanks for coming back to the Funhouse. We got a new intro. We are Brian's Funhouse, no one likes the Brian's Funhouse. Let's go Brian's Funhouse now. Yeah, could be better. It could be. I performed and sang everything on that. It's hard to believe, right? Hard to believe. So this is what we got at the flea market. This guy had, I love old hockey stuff. So this dude had a bunch of like packaged cards from certain years. This was 71, 72 years, so I really like the artwork. I never learned my lesson. I slowly learned my lesson when I buy CDs to look into the CD thing and make sure the CD's actually in the CD case. But I should have opened and really looked. There's some cool cards in here. I paid $20 for it. There's way over 20 cards, and these usually go for like $1 each from this era. So I got a good thing. But unfortunately, there's lots of the same person. So yeah, I will be splitting up this is one of the coolest, the seals, the good old golden seals, originally Oakland, and then they were California seals. But yeah, so there are some of the same player, so I'm just going to take out those ones and put them on eBay as their own little lot and hope to recoup, you know, a few dollars back from what I spent. But old hockey cards, always a fun thing. He had a lot more, but I just couldn't spend anymore. This retailed when it came out for $40. I got it for $5 at the flea market. She had like 2 of them left. She said she already sold a few. And I was there like at 6:45 a.m. and it opened at 6. So yeah, boom. Battlestar Galactica. I love the originals. I just started rewatching the reboot. What was that, from 05, I think, with 6. And just started watching the reboot with my wife, and we are enjoying that season 1 so far. So yeah, it's got a lot of cool behind-the-scenes photos of the original show, the reboot. It's $5. I do have a lot of books, and I do need to clear out some of my books because I can't keep them all. I have to get rid of some. Speaking about books, let's talk about magazines. This guy had these for like $5 each, but I got 3 for $10, so that's pretty cool. Cream magazine was one of them with Bob Seger, and I believe this one, as I was flipping through it, I was trying to be careful because these old ones are pretty fragile. I think this one had a really cool ad, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that. New album from AC/DC called Back in Black. Ooh, I wonder if it's going to do good. I wonder if that song, You Shook Me All Night Long, is going to get played on the radio enough. Yikes, looking back, I would say so. And he also had, what else did he have? He had Circus. I used to subscribe to Circus. This one's really cool. It's got Cheap Trick in it. It's got an interview with their drummer, former drummer Bud E. Carlos. You know, very rarely would they interview a band and highlight the drummer, so it's pretty cool. And then, of course, on the back is a really cool ad for a new Journey album with Steve Perry and Greg Rowley there, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, this guy had, the same guy had this. I just started to watch this. I never knew Animal House besides being a classic great movie, also was a TV series for like a year. I bought that, a bootleg version of that on DVD. I just started to watch it. It's not as, I mean, Animal House is John Belushi really, so without him being in it, although a lot of the cast returned, as you can see, I think the plot when his little brother or his cousin, I think it's his little brother or something, he's the replacement for the great late John Belushi, and the show's alright. But yeah, so it's got that as a cover story. I thought that was cool. It's got a tour report of Rush, so that's awesome. This is 1979, so yeah, great stuff. And then another dude had this. I got it for $2 in the old indie and punk rock world. There was a magazine besides MRR. People used to read Flipside, so I got an old Flipside from '89, summer of '89, right when I was starting to get into the whole punk rock scene. What else did I get at the flea market? You know, I believe that is it at the flea market. Let's go on to eBay sales. I've been selling some stuff on eBay. Like I said, I have a lot of junk, as you can see. And the sales haven't been that great because a lot of my albums that were something I've already sold late last year when I purged, or earlier this year. So there's not a lot quality items I have left to really put on eBay to get some cash. But anyway, I bought a lot of old NHL pennants. I already hung up the Seals one and the Minnesota North Stars one. As a Blackhawks fan, you still have that inner hatred for the Minnesota North Stars. They just have a Cicerelli in the 80s, and oh, the hatred runs deep. But I hung it up, you know. This one, I already have this one, so I'm going to put this on eBay with some more hockey stuff and see if I can recoup some of the costs. And these went for like 10 each, if I add up how much I paid for the lot. An old one from St. Louis Blues. I think these are early 1970s, so really cool one of Los Angeles Kings. And like I said, I already hung up the ones that I kind of wanted to display. Also on eBay, got this for like $20. Look at that. I saw it at a toy show and he had way too much on it, and I didn't even know it existed. But it's a Snoopy like snare drum. Kind of, not sort of snare drum. But yeah. Uh-oh. Boy, heavy metal is going. Look at this. Pretty cool. I know, I'm pretty good. When I play though, actually, when I'm playing drums in a band, I have like a straight fit, just like a boring face. I'm not like one of those drummers that do like the oompa and all the expressions. I don't know, but I should try to smile more. People see a band and they want to see the performers smiling. Actually, they just want to see the freaking performers playing. Everyone is lip syncing and playing the tracks these days, and I digress. Besides that, oh, I did go to the Kane County Toy Show. I will be going to the one that's going to happen a little over a month, the summer one. I went to the huge one they had in April. All that footage got ruined when my old computer blew up, and now I have this new computer that hopefully I'll edit this on. But yeah, there I got a DVD, a VHS of a heavy metal program called Heavy Metal, and it would just like interview groups like AC/DC, Ozzy, Jane's Addiction, Queensryche, Striper, Anthrax, and he should just come out with like these things, like an hour long. So it's pretty cool. I got that for like $10. Classic movie Led Zeppelin song remains the same. Got that for just like $3 or $4 on VHS. Now these VHSs, the hard and heavy I'll watch, but the other ones are just kind of to, I don't know, display. Pitfall on Genesis. This is the Mine Adventure one. That's pretty cool. It's got a lot of neat screens. Of course, I get killed really early, as I do on video games. This I got for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 2. I have a, my wife and I have a Nintendo, then we have a Super Nintendo, then we have a Sega, but I primarily use the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. This is from PlayStation 1. The reason I got it was Sinistar. They used to have that arcade show. I forget what it was. It's a TV show about kids playing arcade games way back when, in the 80s, and they would always play Sinistar. Joust is also on here because I love Joust, one of my favorite ones. And also at the toy show, complete with cat hair, was this 1978 Sears Wish Book. Now, if you were a kid way back in the 80s and the late 70s, you knew how important the Wish Book was. It would come out around the holiday season. As a kid, you would just look in it and circle every cool item you wanted. For me, it was like sports jerseys and stuff like that, and then any kind of Star Wars things. But yeah, it just had toys and more toys, and you would just have a great time circling all the things that you really were like, hey, I need this. In order for me to live, I need this. But yeah, so it's really cool. And these go for a pretty penny on eBay. I got this for like $20, I think, which is crazy. Old catalog sell, but it's what they do. Also at the toy show, my big purchase, I'll show it on overlaid footage here, of the Love Boat figures. Don't ask me why. I love the series Love Boat. It's really cheesy. Love all the characters. It's probably my top 3 sitcoms of all time. Number 1 probably being Welcome Back, Kotter. But yeah, I was like, should I get one at a time? No, he had them all complete in the plastic. Boom. Might as well get that for sure. Also, recently, I got this too. I don't know where I got this from. But this is finally, I got the George Lucas. I think I got this at the toy show as well. George Lucas as a Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper is my favorite character. And there's George Lucas. Here in Chicago, we were supposed to get the Star Wars Museum, and they screwed it up. So no museum for us. Let's see. Oh, so I left Illinois with all the crazy cicadas. Had to get away for just a few days. My wife wanted to go to Kentucky to see some of the horse farms and the whole horse industry there. So I dropped her off, or she went, and then I had a day kind of to myself and went to some music stores. I already posted a video about going to music stores, and I went to a toy store, which is really neat and a really cool store, really good prices. If you look, eBay sells for, he was less than that, and that's the dream, is to get prices that are actually cheaper than what you can get online, because you're supporting the store and you're actually seeing the stuff. I had a lot of cool items. I really love the store. If I'm ever in the area, I would for sure go back, and if any of you are in the area and haven't checked it out, for sure check out that store. I got this for $10, a little known character in the whole World Wrestling Federation universe was the Goon. And to me, it's a boom boom because I love hockey, and I have some wrestling figures still. I sold a lot of my old LJN figures and all that stuff, but I figure I could put him on the shelf because he checks off 2 things for me: hockey and wrestling. One of the only few characters that I'll actually keep, because up there I have a Hawk 2-pack that I'll show on the screen here, signed by Animal, Hawk and Animal from Legion of Doom or Road Warriors, whatever era you want to call them. These are like the kind of squishy ones. These were 10 each, which ain't a bad price. 20 for the set. Then he $10 each, but he gave me both for 20. Whoa. So yeah, cool stuff here. Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. When I was a kid, first started to watch wrestling, when I thought it was real, I was like, oh man. I shouldn't say real or fake, they hate that. When I thought it wasn't predetermined, I used to watch Road Warriors and be like, wow. So my big purchase there was the Jabba throne. I already had Jabba, so I'm going to put my other Jabba up on eBay with some other Star Wars stuff to kind of enhance the auction there. But this I got for $90, which a lot of you are like, what? 90? You should be surprised. Some of these little, it's all plastic. Any figure is just plastic, right? But one figure can grow in time and be worth $20-15, right? And another little same kind of plastic material figure can go with like $4,000 or $5,000. You wouldn't believe some of the original Star Wars vintage hard to get things. It's nuts. It's a crazy, and I wonder how long these prices will hold, because I think the young kids don't really collect things. They don't really have that in them. I could be wrong, but so it's going to hit a point where things are really worth climbing up and then just dropping, because a lot of the older people will tell you coins and stamps and all that kind of stuff, certain sports cards, that industry just bleh, and then so you never know. So like Funko Pops, a lot of them have already peaked, and now they're so it's a hard, if you're trying to get that profit and sell your stuff when it's the highest point, that's a hard one to tell. For me, I just like to collect. My problem is I'm running out of room. But anyway, so I got this throne. It said it was complete. I think it's complete because it has him and all the little strings and a globe. So really cool Jabba the Hutt throne there. Put on my Star Wars shelf, which I don't have a lot of room left. So yeah, that was it for the toy store. And then I went to this huge antique mall. Love going to antique malls. Same reason as flea market. You never know what you're going to see in a display case or there. It's just impossible to know what you're going to see. And this was the Peddler's Antique Mall in Kentucky. It was huge and it was nice, but after seeing some cool things early on, like this Evel Knievel thing, I just didn't see, I saw a lot of action figures that aren't worth anything because they produce a lot of them or they're from a toy line that people just don't want. So it wasn't really appealing to me. I was starting to lose interest. I lost my wife somewhere in there. So I was like, I'm kind of on my way out of this antique mall. Had hopes so high to find cool stuff. And then on almost the very last display case, this guy has some cool stuff there. So for $3 only, which ain't bad, I bought the complete pack of cards for Jaws 3D. And that's it's a cheesy movie, but I have the poster that's autographed there by Lou Gossett Jr. So I do like Jaws 3D. I like all the Jaws movies. It's kind of fun. And I don't swim in the ocean because of the Jaws movies. I'll go to my knees, but that's about all I need. And these toys, I already have some, and I rearranged the wall. Then I have the poster on, repainted the wall, and rehung the poster. And had everything spaced really cool, and now, boom, and I have extra stuff that I got to try to squeeze in there. This toy line was from Laramie Corporation from Philly, made in Hong Kong. Of course, from the great show that I was already talking about, Battlestar Galactica, and these toys made no damn sense. At least, like, the vast majority of Star Wars toys you could see in the movies, and oh, okay, that's what these, I don't know, they're like, oh, this TV show is a hit, let's give them the Solar Explorer. Sure, it's binoculars and stuff, even though they had computers on the spaceship, I'm sure they went outside in space and looked on binocular. No, they didn't use any of this stuff. A watch set, no one had a wristwatch in space, come on, they're just trying to sell, what idiot would buy that? But this is kind of cool. This is cool. All that stuff, that's for nerds. This is cool. This is the ID set. Ooh. So it's like a wallet. Who are you? Oh, let me just whip out my ID and show you. Excuse me while I whip this out. Also in the display case, oh yeah, were some cups. These were just like a few bucks. These were actually $2. Bargain. They're practically giving these old cups away. Will I ever use them? No, I'll just display them. It's all about displaying. And that's what I try to do. I try to display everything I have. If I can't put it out on display for me to see and my cat and my dog and whoever comes over to the fun house, I don't like to have storage things of toys and stuff. No. If I can't display it, off to eBay it goes. Probably my favorite thing, I've been looking for this for a while. I have it on DVD. I've seen it a million times and we'll see it a million more because I love it. It's cheesy. It's great. It's the hottest band in the world, Kiss. Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. Or the Phantoms was the original title, I forget. And it's really good. It's really, like I said, if you don't like Kiss or cheesy kind of like 80s type movies, then it's not going to be for you. But to me, it's great. Like I said, I can watch it already. I just got the VHS finally, kind of the artwork. I don't know how Peter and Gene ended up. I would have thought it would have been Gene and Paul. I don't know who signed off on that because Paul was probably PO'd. What do you mean I'm not on the cover? I'm not even on the back cover. I'm Paul freaking Stanley, people. The real leader of Kiss. But yeah, they've got Gene and Peter on there. So I think that is, I mean, really, this is more crap than I needed to add to this collection. I already have enough stuff. But I just figured I would show you some of the toy stuff I've been buying. Next video will be the latest music additions to this collection. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe and like, that's great. I already appreciate your view. Like I said, thanks for watching. Have a great day.